All right, for today's webinar, we are going to go over what the Elite subscription is. We are going to explain to you the benefits of it, and we are also going to present it, have a small slideshow of, a presentation on it, and then we are going to list and show the benefits of myCADtools as well. So I am going to start sharing my screen. So the first thing, SolidProfessor will be part of all subscription going forward for all yearly renewals. It can also be purchased as a separate training platform, which will be valid for 12 months. The new edition, you will be able to learn on this platform, which has over, I think last year it was about 395 courses. It's standing on 403 courses now. So every now and again, there's new courses being added, which will give you the benefit of learning everything around the SolidWorks module. So it's not just limited to what's inside SolidWorks. It's multi-products as well, electrical, simulation, plastics, visualize, all those products as well. So you will have access to a wide variety of courses to complete within this 12 months. You will grow your team's knowledge and ensure that they use SolidWorks to the full potential, and it is part of the yearly subscription. Just to give you an idea as well, for every license you have, SolidProfessor will be added, and your team member will have its own logins to do it. And you don't need to necessarily do the training at the office. If you work from home, it is all browser-based, so you can just log in from wherever you are. Right. And then the SolidProfessor benefit, there's over 900 hours of training. It is included per seat of SolidWorks. So if your company has 3 SolidWorks licenses, you will have 3 SolidWorks professors. Then on-site benefits, so you can redeem 3,200 Rand per seat for in-person training. So once again, if you have 3 seats, you will have 3,200, let's work it out. There we go, 9,600 Rand that you can spend for our people to do in-person training. So if you want to send the guys to our on-site training, you will have that basically as discount. Then, and that is only for once a year, so it's for every person, but only once in that 12 months. Then there's 3 hours of consultation per license per year. Once again, if you've got 3 licenses, you will have 9 hours for your team to consult with our technical team with anything. This might be a project you're working on where you are stuck, need some help or guidance within SolidWorks. You can come either on site to us, or our team members can go on site to you if you are within the Gauteng area. For guys in Cape Town, Durban, those areas, further away areas out of Gauteng, we'll do a team session then in this case. Then custom workflows and automation, this is the consultation discount. So let's say you've got PDM and you want to manage your vault or add workflows. There's a certain discount that you can get towards that. That discount will be made known to you guys, but you have to contact our sales department. Then depending on what the work that needs to be done, then our team will quote you based on that, because every company does differ on the workflow and the amount of work that needs to be done. Then on myCADtools, you will get 50% off of this SolidWorks add-in, right? The SolidProfessor, this you will download the add-in from the SolidProfessor platform. You will download the add-in. At the bottom, you will see here's a little green circle with a hat. This will be your SolidWorks add-in directly within your SolidWorks platform. So if you are stuck and you need help, you are busy with the design, and you now need guidance, you forgot how to do something, you will go to the search bar at the top and you will put SolidWorks before anything you want to search. So example, SolidWorks fillet, SolidWorks bracket, SolidWorks, whatever the case might be. Then you're going to search. All the little courses that is available for you will pop up here on the side, and you will open it, go through that 2 or 3 minute video, and then you will apply whatever solution was given in the video to your design. So it's almost like a YouTube within your SolidWorks, which is quite exciting to manage. Alrighty, so you can then edit in SolidWorks in the interface while you can also then access SolidProfessor. So you don't have to go out of your interface, which is quite nice. Then just a quick one. So with on subscription customers, meaning the yearly subscription that's paid, you do get 6 certifications free of charge every year per person. So one serial number you can have, and you've got 3 designers, for example, you can let all 3 write the certification. So there are 3 certifications available to you for the first 6 months of the year, and 3 certifications available to you at the last 6 months of the year. You can then choose out of 6 different topics, which is CSWI, that is almost like the basic of SolidWorks, which is equivalent to our essential training on site. Then you will get CSWP, which is the professional one, and you will have to obviously prep for that one. And then CSWE is not included in the free vouchers. I think it's a 2,800 or something like that rand, which you or the company can then pay for you to write that. In order to qualify for that, you have to pass 5 out of these advanced topics over here. And yeah, you can then use a voucher to write an exam. If you do not pass an exam and you need to rewrite it, you will use up another voucher, which means if it takes you 2 times to get SolidWorks Associate, then you will only have 4 vouchers left to write the other exams with. This is included for unsubscription customers, which is nice because you will use SolidProfessor to prepare for all of these certifications, go through all the training videos, get yourself familiar with the way certain things are asked, and then from there you will go then to your SolidWorks and write the certification. The certification is also worldwide recognized, so one day you decide to immigrate, you can take that certification with you, and it will show that you are a competent user of SolidWorks. Then we're stepping into myCADtools, which is the add-on benefit that you get with SolidProfessor. So just in short, Jaco will go into it in more briefly soon. For myCADtools, this is a suite of software utilities. So it integrates fully with your SolidWorks, which is also an add-in. Jaco, you can just explain that when you with your part of the demonstration. And then you can automate tasks. You can streamline all workflows, and you can enhance the functionality of CAD, so which is quite nice because it is macro-based. So as you can see there at the bottom, it's around 50, I think it's 53 macro-based tools that you can use then for this automation. So aiming to boost productivity, and it will allow your users to focus more on innovation. So for example, what I said there for tasks and streamline workflows, so you have things that you need to schedule and make sure that it runs or whatever the case might be. The macro can be set up for that so that it can run a certain time when you are not in the office. So then it doesn't bug and messes with your work during the day from 8 to 5, for example. So then we've got a few must-see of myCADtools. So 2 of the awesome features that we've got is cutting optimization. So it's a full-size beam or material. You can analyze how many cutouts you want from the material, and then it will show you what your cut-off amount would be. So then you run the report. So if you've got a beam and you want 4 little beams out of that big beam or material or whatever, then it will calculate to say, okay, great, you can actually get 5 or whatever the case might be. Then for sheet metal manufacturing, within your assembly, you will select all the sheet metal parts. And then once the part has been selected, you can export it to a DXF for a flattened state. So yeah, that's just a few little insights of myCADtools. And then Jaco will continue with that. But first, next up, we've got, that is all from my side. For any inquiries about how the pricing works for the subscription for your next renewal, please contact the sales team at Cadmes. We will be able to assist you with your pricing structure, and myself, Anushka, I will be the person who sends you all the renewal notices as well. So if you receive an email from me and you've got questions, you can just ask. Okay, so next up, I've got Carla. She is going to do a small presentation of SolidProfessor to show you a little insight, and yeah, quite exciting time. So have a look and stay tuned. Carla, over to you.
Thank you, Anushka. Good afternoon, everybody. As Anushka mentioned, my name is Carla or Carla, and I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit more about SolidProfessor and what it's all about. So if you look on the screen now, you'll see that I am logged into my personal profile. This is my dashboard. At the top of my dashboard here, I have a tab with a bunch of useful features. On the right-hand side here, we have our profile where you can view your achievements. I will show you in a little bit how to get your achievements, and you have access to your knowledge base as well. On more of the left-hand side, you'll see that there's a tab for your portfolio, your groups. Your groups is also where you can have access to your assignments. And then, of course, your dashboard, which is the page that is currently active. Then we have our search bar, which is pretty straightforward, and we have our library. So over here, when you click down, you'll see that there's multiple different CAD software options. You can have access to Inventor, DraftSight, AutoCAD, SolidWorks, and if you view all, just give it a moment, you'll see that there is any software in terms of CAD that you can possibly imagine. There's Fusion, Bolt, anything you can think of. For the sake of this webinar, we are going to be focusing mainly on SolidWorks though. When we move downwards, you'll see that there's a tab called My Learning. In the My Learning tab, underneath, you'll see there's a bunch of videos. This is now on my personal account. So if you open a new account, you'll see that there's nothing yet. This carousel of videos that you are seeing here is all the previously viewed courses that you've gone through. And when you click on one, let me just choose one. If you click on it, you'll notice that it takes you exactly to where you were in the course before leaving the website. Okay, so here's the video, and the well-spoken man takes you through everything nice and easy, and he gives you multiple different options to do whatever it is you looking to do. If you scroll down, you'll see that there's a few tabs here called Course Overview, Technical Certificate, which is where you gain your achievements, your transcript, and your feedback. Underneath your course overview, you'll see that there's a download course files link, which you can then click so that you can work with them as the video goes along. On the right-hand side here is your lessons, the duration of the lessons, so how long it's going to take you to get through all of them. And at the bottom, you can test your knowledge, which is also where you get your achievement. You can also choose the different version of whichever SolidWorks you are working on. So in this case, it's 2024. Okay, moving back to my dashboard, there's two options. I can either click on the icon over here, or I can go back to the dashboard. Then lastly, on your right-hand side, you'll see that there's a Take Skills test. This is something very useful, especially for companies looking to employ new draftsmen. So you can go ahead and click on that, and it takes you to a different tab where you can scroll through. It gives you a breakdown on how to use it, but you can test your own knowledge in terms of SolidWorks to see where exactly you are lacking and where you still need help. Or you can test your team. So if you are admin, you can assign that to whoever and they can test it, and you can view their results to see what they need a little bit more help with. Okay. Underneath the skills test, we have assignments, which you can work on. So getting started with SolidProfessor, you can join any one of these. And this is also where you can start prepping for your CSWA, your CSWP, all the other ones, so sheet metal, mold surfaces, all those 5. Anushka, I'm not sure, I can't remember all of them. Drawings, and there was one more. Underneath that is explore the course library, which is essentially the same as just clicking on this tab above. You can view your test results, and you can download your SolidWorks add-in, which is what Anushka also said earlier. And you can once again view your achievements. Now, Anushka mentioned earlier that a few things are also included into your subscription. For example, Visualize and SolidWorks CAM, etc. I know Visualize is only included in SolidWorks Professional and Premium, and it is Visualize Standard. So let's say, for example, you are now for the first time trying to work with SolidWorks Visualize. You can go ahead and type it into your search bar. Okay, and then it gives you an option to go to the course. Fairly straightforward. Also, like Anushka mentioned earlier, when you search and you are working with a specific software, let's say you are working in this case with SolidWorks, please be sure to type in SolidWorks in order to make sure that you don't get Inventor or AutoCAD videos. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's see what SolidProfessor looks like in action. So I've created this little part to do some design changes on. I know that it has an error. That was done on purpose so that I can show you how to fix that. So in this case, obviously I can see what needs to be done. I want to remove 2 holes, and I want to make sure that the whole part is not what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I need to delete this, or not delete, edit this feature. Sorry about that. It's not shelled. So basically what I want to do, I want to fix everything that's broken. But in order for me to do that, I need to understand the design intent of the part. So I want to review my part. So I head over to SolidProfessor, to my search bar, and I say part. Oops. Oh, another thing. If you do type into your search bar and you scroll down and you forget to say SolidWorks, you can also just have a look next to the title of the course. You'll see that there is a little tab that does say SolidWorks or whichever software you want to use. Okay, so now I'm just going to watch the video and follow along. The guy is basically explaining that I can hover over the rollback bar and I can head up and down the design tree to see exactly where I want to start. Then he also shows how to enable the freeze bar. Sorry. So options, under system options, general, mine is already enabled over there, which is what he is doing now. So he's just showing that I can move the rollback bar to exactly where I want to start editing it, the image of the part. Okay. Then he says that I can also freeze parts or features so that they are not affected by anything I edit. And then he speaks about So he goes through the video, and then he goes to evaluate, part reviewer, and then he goes through just to show that there are a variety of different ways to view the design intent or the route that the draftsman went when they designed the part. What's nice about the part review is also the fact that you can get comments. Just thought I'd add that. Okay. So that's basically it for that. So now that I know what to do, I can start here, do this. Okay. Awesome. So let's say, for example, this is now what needed to happen, and this error keeps giving me issues. Then I try and edit it. I see I can't, so I'll hover over it, see that the feature itself, it's not the problem. So when I expand it, I can see that there's a warning over the sketch, and it says that the sketch is overdefined. Now, let's say for argument's sake, I forgot how to fix this error, and I don't know how to correct an overdefined sketch. So I type in defined overdefined sketch SolidWorks. Awesome. Then SolidWorks pops up with, SolidProfessor pops up with all of these different options. I'll just click on the first one, and I'll watch along with the video to see what he does. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. Okay. And then that's fairly straightforward. He says that I should click down here and then head over here to Sketch Expert. And the first option he uses is Diagnose. And then I can go through my options to see which one is best. And I accept this one. Great. He also shows that there is a option for a manual to fix it manually. Okay, just say sketch. Awesome. And there our part is finished. Our errors are fixed. And that is it. That is how very user-friendly SolidProfessor is. If you have two screens, you always have the option to work on the browser itself and SolidWorks. You don't have to use the add-in. It is just a little bit more convenient, especially when you are in your viewport. You can also click this button over here, picture in picture, and you can move this around. You can completely close this, then you have enough space. And you can work like this. I prefer to do it this way sometimes. But yeah, that is it from my side. I am handing over to Yaku.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Carla.
Awesome.
Let me just quickly share my screen. All right, Carla, just to confirm, can you see the screen?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, so basically what I would like to do is I just want to show the myCADtools. Like Anushka mentioned in the beginning as well, there's over like 50 different macros that was created to make things easier for the guys on SolidWorks. So say for instance, you've got parts and you need to create drawings. Now to make drawings is always time consuming. So a nice thing is there's macros that was created, and all those macros is then included within the myCADtools. So just to quickly show you how to use them, the myCADtools and where to access it. First off, it's going to be linked to your SolidWorks serial number. So if the myCADtools is something that you are interested in and you'd like to use it and test it, you can always just give me a call or send me an email. Then what I'll do is I'm going to ask you for your serial number, your SolidWorks serial number. Then we're just going to link the myCADtools on top of your existing SolidWorks serial number. So then that becomes like for that year that you can use it. So to install it, I'll send you the links on how to install it. But once the installation is done, so within your SolidWorks, if you go to the drop-down, and you go to your add-ins. From the add-ins, you'll see there you've got the myCADtools. So then it becomes like its own unique tab with all the different myCADtool functionalities and stuff. Now, recently I had a customer that he created parts and assemblies, but each part and each assembly was saved in different folders. So he had like one main folder, and then within that folder he had like additional subfolders, and then each subfolder had its own part in it. And then what he had to do is then he had to go and create drawings manually for each part. So then he had to go file open, search for the location, open the part, make a drawing, and then once the drawing is done, then he also had to go and create PDF documents. Now that did take some time, especially if your subfolders is like 200 folders. So then you have to go and open each one individually. Now with the myCADtools, a nice thing is, let's say for instance, if I go file open. Now I've created on my desktop, I just created one small folder called the myCADtools, and there I just create like subfolders, just a few subfolders that has like one folder for cam. So there's one cam model in there. If I just quickly make it just bigger view. So there's a nice cam model. If I've got some custom welds, so that's just like a little frame that I created. So the idea behind this is also just to show you that I can have individual parts. I can have an assembly that's going to have individual parts in it. I can have a normal folder that has only parts in it. I've got a folder that has only sheet metal in it, and the same goes for weldments. So I've tried to make it like all the possibilities. So from assemblies, from parts, sheet metal, weldments, I've got different models, and I need to go and create drawings of each one. So currently you'll see that none of my folders has any drawings in there. If I look on the large assemblies, this is only an assembly with a few parts in it. I've got a parts folder that has only parts in it. So you'll see there's nothing showing me any drawings. Even if I use a filter to force it to show me drawings, there is no drawings available. All right. And I now need to create drawings of all of these components. All right. So what I can then do is, if I go Tools, I've got my myCADtools command. And from there, I've got this Smart Drawings functionality. I'm going to use Smart Drawings. It's going to open up a nice window for us. It's just busy opening up. All right, and then like within normal SolidWorks is you'll have to have a template, a drawing template that has certain predefined views. So obviously you would like to have a front view, the right view, top view, maybe isometric view, and then also the dimensions needs to be included. So you can have templates for parts, you can have a template for your assemblies, you can have a template for your sheet metal, and then also a template for your weldments. Then because I've got one folder that consists out of subfolders, I would like to save each drawing of its own part in that same folder from where it came from. So that's why for the generate drawings, it's going to save it in the file name with the active configuration name. And then I would also like to save this in the same location or the folder as where the 3D files are. Right. Then the important thing is obviously I need to tell it right what needs to happen, which folder should it use. So I'm going to use this command there just to add a folder. And I'm going to select this whole myCADtools folder that has all those subfolders in it. Select it. And I'm just going to make sure that this subfolder tick box is on. So then it's going to include all those subfolders there as well. And then that's it. So sorry, before we do this, just to quickly have a look under the options. So for my options, I can then tell it, right, whenever it does a drawing, should it replace, maybe there's already drawings created, should it replace it, yes or no? The scale, do you want to use a physical scale, like say 1/1, like a static scale, or do you want it to automatically calculate the scale so that it fits nicely in the drawing? So I'm going to use calculate scale. If it gets to weldments, I would like to have a drawing of each body on its own. So you've got a massive weldment structure, and then I want to have a sheet basically of each member on its own. And the same goes for sheet metal. I would like to have a drawing created where it's also in a flattened state, basically in the development state. All right. I then just have to go back to the create drawings, and I can then just click apply. The moment I click apply, it's now actually in the background. It's going to open up each model, and it's going to create, of all those components, it's going to create drawings for them. Now, I think this takes about 3 minutes to create all those drawings. Now, if I have to do this manually, it's not going to be 3 minutes. It's going to be much longer than that. And then a nice thing about this is you can actually do it before you go home. You can before you turn off the computer, you just let it run, and then when you get back to the office tomorrow, all your drawings has been made for you. And then just keep in mind, and this is always the same for drawings. If you're going to do like the predefined stuff, there is always going to be some manual work that you have to do. There might be that a few dimensions need to move around. You don't like a dimension there, but you'd rather want it to be on that view. So it's going to do like 90% of the drawings for you, but then you just need to make sure that all the drawings are up to your company standard. All right. And then the nice thing about this, the myCADtools, there is also macros created. Say, for instance, the one drawing has certain font styles and sizes, but the other drawing is using a different font style. There's actually a macro that runs through all those drawings and compare the properties and the font sizes so that you've got one document standard right through for all the drawings. So there's a macro for that as well, or a myCADtool functionality for that. As you see, it's basically just showing me the progress bar at the bottom. So I can see from there it's almost done. And you'll see now that at a point it's going to start showing me I think it's this one there. Yeah. You see now I've got the main suspension frame, and then it's now creating all the individual sheets for all those separate bodies within the sheet metal component, or the weldment. All right, and there we go. So now it's going to ask would I like to see the report? Normally I would say yes. So then this report is actually going to show me that the number of documents processed, there's a total of 24. Number of documents processed successfully, 23. There's one that had an issue. So the nice thing about this is you can actually have a look under the warnings. And so there's some details regarding the successful processing. So then it shows me, all the parts that has been successfully created. Or if I go to this detail of processing, I can actually see which ones failed. And there's one that has something to do with the gears. So this just gives you as a nice idea, representation of the result, basically the analysis. How many documents was processed, any that has failed, all those type of things. So then from there we can just go and fix it. So in this case, I'm done with that. Let's go quit. And if I now go back to those subfolders, you'll see then if I start with, say, the large assemblies. If I now folded this according to the type, you see there's all the parts that I had. So there's all the parts, and there is all the individual drawings that has been created for us. So even if I say, let's have a look under the parts, for instance, there's all the individual parts. And like I said in the beginning as well, it's going to do like 90%. There is some manual work. Now, I'm not sure if you knew this, but a quick, easy way to fix drawings and to make it a little bit neater is if you open up a drawing, and this is basically being covered in the essentials training as well, is you can box select, right click on any one of those dimensions, go to a line and do like an auto range, and then it's going to clean it up a little bit better. But again, also keep in mind that all those text that is basically at an angle, this is basically your custom property settings. So if this is something that you would like to have your text always displayed as horizontal, remember that can be done under your options, under your document properties. So remember, document properties is linked to your custom tab or your template. And in this case, I'm going to say dimensions, and then these are the dimensions that I just need to change. So just quickly prove it to you. Let's make it all horizontal. Okay, that one's fine. And this one, click OK. And if I now just do that again, right click, align, auto arrange, you see now all the text will then be displayed as horizontal text. And again, keep in mind this is settings in your document properties. So when you create a blank template with all the predefined views, those are settings that you have to turn on. Right. So now I did all those drawings for us. But now the big thing is I would like to make PDF documents of all those drawings that I created. So then again, I'm going to go to my myCADtools. So I'm just going to go there, myCADtools, and I'm going to use this batch converter. Okay. So for this batch converter, I can then specify, again, the same folder. So let's add a folder. I'm going to use a whole myCADtools folder that I've created. And these are all the file formats that can be converted to. So it can take all those parts or assemblies or drawings, and you can export them to whichever format you would like to have. In this case, I would like them to be exported to a PDF. And then if you right click on this area there, you can actually tell it which part, drawing, or assembly you would like to do. In this case, I want to do all the drawings. So it's going to focus on only saving my drawings as PDF files. It's going to save it as file name and that specific location, and then that's it. I can then click apply, and now in the background it's going to take each drawing and it's going to save it as a PDF document for us. So instead of me doing all 24 drawings or 23 drawings that I have, it's going to do it automatically for us. Okay, it's almost done. Now just keep in mind that your SolidWorks alone, the SolidWorks, either from the SolidWorks Professional and the SolidWorks Premium, it does have the task scheduler. Now the task scheduler also does generate drawings, all those type of things, but there is limitations to it. The task scheduler basically will create drawings, but only for specific folders. You can't select a main folder and tell it needs to include all the subfolders. So the task scheduler can only focus on drawings for which or parts that is in that specific folder and not for subfolders. So just keep in mind that there are some limitations to it, but for the myCADtools, we have the ability to go actually take it a step further. As you know, at the bottom there, it runs through all those individual sheets as well to make PDFs of them as well. All right, let's say yes. It's going to show me the report. So there's all 23 drawings that it has created. And now if I go browse to my desktop, myCADtools, let's take parts for instance. You see there's all the individual PDF documents now that has been created as well. And again, it's going to do it for all those folders within this. All right. Then lastly, just to show you, if I go to the myCADtools itself, the interface, so basically from myCADtools, the drop down, that myCADtools. It's going to open up this myCADtools. So there's all the additional macros that is available within this myCADtools. So you see I've got some essentials, I've got some data managements, and again, you can still scroll to get more. There's for drawings, there's for modeling, there's for common, and there's also for some administration stuff. All right. So basically this myCADtools, it's like it's different macros. It was created just to make things easier for the user and to speed up productivity for them. All right. And then that basically wraps it up for the myCADtools. So I think for now we can then just close this webinar. But yeah, like we mentioned, if there's anything you'd like to learn more, please get in contact with us. All right. Then thank you very much for your time, everybody. And then have a great afternoon for the rest of the day.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.